Have you ever wondered, how does the body actually create emotions? Because especially if you're an intelligent person, which I'm sure you all are, you might understand how thoughts can create feelings. But the idea that the body itself could generate emotions can seem Star Trekky, strange, almost irrational. And yet, over the years, when I've worked with people with chronic fatigue and long COVID and anxiety and other energy disorders and burnout, again and again I've seen something fascinating. The body responds before the mind fully understands what's happening. And I think this changes everything because most people assume emotions begin in the mind. We think, I had a thought and then I felt something. But what if it often happens the other way around? What if the body senses first and the mind explains afterwards? Now, when I say the body senses, I don't really mean the body is intelligent in the same way the mind is intelligent. I'm not saying the body sits there analyzing situations logically. It's more like an extension of our sensory system. The body continuously reads the world around us. Tone, fairness, safety, connection, restriction, suppression, freedom, fulfilment. And it does this constantly, mostly beneath conscious awareness. For example, have you ever walked into a room where people have just had an argument? Nobody says anything, but immediately you can feel something. The atmosphere feels heavy, tight, uncomfortable. Now, logically, you may not consciously know what happened, but your body already knows something changed in that room. Or maybe you've spent time with someone who leaves you completely drained. We all know them. Even though nothing obviously bad happened. Or the opposite. You spend time with someone and suddenly you feel lighter, more energized, more alive. The body is constantly responding to situations like this. And when the body senses something important, it creates physical shifts, changes in tension, breathing, hormones, and yes, nervous system activation, energy flow, internal pressure. And those physical shifts are what we experience as feelings. Then the mind comes along afterwards, labels the feeling, and it becomes emotion. It then creates a story about it. This is anxiety. This is anger. This is sadness. This is dread. So, in most cases, the emotion didn't begin as a thought. The thought was actually the interpretation of a body sensation that had already started. And I think this is especially important in chronic fatigue conditions because many people with CFS, long COVID, and other energy disorders are deeply thoughtful people. They often say, But I wasn't thinking negatively. And it's true, they were not. Because this is not about negative thinking. The body responds long before conscious thought catches up. Well, by long, I mean, it's nanoseconds, but it's still before the mind. If someone is repeatedly suppressing frustration, overriding their needs, living without fulfillment, feeling trapped, constantly adapting to unfairness, the body is constantly registering this, even if the mind has normalized it. And over time, that continuous signaling creates enormous physiological load. The nervous system stays activated, stress chemistry stays elevated, energy becomes depleted. The body basically starts shouting more loudly through symptoms. Not because the body is broken, you understand, but because it's communicating. And this is why learning to reconnect with the body becomes so important. Not to obsess over symptoms, but to begin to listen to what the body has been sensing all along. Because the body knows before the mind does. Recovery is not just healing, it's re-embodiment. This begins when we stop trying to think our way through life and start learning how to feel again. And really, this is what Mickel therapy has been designed to do, to help you reintegrate with your body, to move out of constant override and back into relationship with yourself. And when that reconnection begins, recovery stops being something you force or work at and starts becoming natural and effortless. So thanks for watching this video. I will see you next time. I plan to do some question and replies, really, to your different emails and comments in a video at some point soon. See you then. Bye.